Hello class. I'm going to do a brief lecture on section 2.6. Remember 2.6, if you look out your 2.6 handout, the first several problems were about finding the domain of a function. We did that in class. Number 5 was about interpreting what a function meant. We did that in class. And then the rest of the problems were all about composition of functions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do numbers 9 and 11, and so that you have those for reference if you need some more practice with your composition of functions. So if you look at the 2.6 handout, and we're looking at number 9, okay, let me write it down for you. Number 9, they give us two functions. F of x is equal to 6 over x plus 3, and g of x is equal to 2 over 3x. And we want to compose those in this order. We want to find f composed with g of x. F composed with g of x. Okay? So remember, our first step is to write the definition of composition. What does this mean? This means f of g of x, like that. The g is the inside function. The f is the outside function. Okay? Now remember, the way I have taught you to do it is to start on the inside and work your way out. So this is saying take f of g. What is g? Well, we substitute g's function, which is 2 over 3x. Okay? Now we're going to use that fill-in-the-blank idea of functions. So let's look at our function f. And what does f tell us to do? F tells us take 6 and divide it by your input value and plus 3. Okay? 6 divided by the sum of your input value and 3. What's the input value this time? It's not x. It's 2 over 3x. It's g. 2 over 3x. Okay, now, the composition part is done, but this is not simplified. You need to simplify this function. Okay, so for me, the easiest way to simplify this function, and I'm going to do it the lazy way and write over the top of what I have there. Don't tell anybody, okay? Okay, so I look, this is called a complex fraction, I'm sorry. And so I see I've got a 6, I've got a 3, and I've got a 2 over 3x. I think of those as individual terms, and I say, well, what would the lowest common denominator be that would work for all three of those? And it would be 3x. My goal is to get rid of this 3x here. Now, I know I'm allowed to multiply top and bottom by the same thing. So I'm going to multiply the top of this fraction by 3x. And I'm also going to multiply the bottom of this fraction by 3x. But if I multiply the bottom, it's the whole denominator, which means I need to distribute my 3x. So I'm going to multiply by 3x here, and multiply by 3x here. Okay? So there it is. It's in red. And now we can see that on the top, we're just going to get 18x. On the bottom, notice the point of multiplying through by 3x was that this 3x and this 3x cancel, and I'm just left with 2 plus 9x. You're done. Do not cancel anything else. I'm begging you. You cannot simplify this. Remember, you have to factor before you cancel. So this is your final answer, and I would write this just to make it look pretty. F of g of x is equal to 18x over 2 plus 9x. Okay, so that's number 9. Now let's do number 11. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you as I'm writing it down. F of x is equal to 4x squared plus 4x plus 8. G of x is equal to 4x minus 3. Okay, there they are. And this time we are asked to find g composed with f of x. Okay, now that means g is the outside function and f is the inside function. Remember, order matters on composition. Now let's start on the inside and work our way out. Equals g of, what the heck is f? Let's see, f was 4x squared plus 4x plus 8. Okay, so I'm finding g of that polynomial. Now we use the fill in the blank idea of functions. Okay, look back at g, and I'll read it to you as you're looking at it. G is saying, and we're going to say it in words, take 4 times your input value and then subtract 3. Take 4 times your input value and then subtract 3. What's the input value? 4x squared plus 4x plus 8. 4x squared plus 4x plus 8. Now again, the composition part is done, but this is not simplified, so let's make it look pretty. I'm going to get 16x squared plus 16x plus 32 minus 3, which is 16x squared plus 16x plus 29. Okay, that would be my final answer, and let's call it, wait, it was g composed with f of x this time. Okay, and that is how we compose two functions. Now, please try 12 and 13 on your own. Remember, those are the ones where we give you the function that was created by composing two functions, and you need to figure out what the two functions were to begin with. So you get to use your imagination a little bit. There is more than one right answer, and ask me in class if you have any questions. And that's it for 2-6.